Joe Rogan had an interesting theory. Yes, this is the same Joe Rogan who helped to get Trump elected, but now he thinks the guy he helped to get elected is literally ripping communities apart through a police state series of decisions and threatening to militarily acquire Greenland. I guess he doesn't talk about Greenland. And making a big deal of the Somali fraud narrative to cover up a sex trafficking ring. Which, hey, not implausible.
I love minors.
I'm not taking issue with the theory. I'm taking issue with Rogan helping to get us here. But here's the clip that I'm referencing. While you watch it, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate the show. Drop a little comment. Oh my gosh. Work, Luke. Get it, girl. Whatever you want to put. And then click the like button and the alert bell.
Oh, it's going to go on for a long time, I suspect. I mean, they said they released them, but what did they release?
No, they're still not all out yet.
But what did they release?
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. The whole thing's weird.
It feels like everything's been drowned out by everything else been going on with like the Somalians and the ICE shooting. It feels like that's completely drowned out. Anything about it.
I think some of that's on purpose.
Oh, 100%.
So now Rogan is saying, and I think there's truth to, I'll explain what there is truth to, but first, obviously, you can't literally say evidentially that Trump is making certain decisions with ICE to cause controversy, to distract from Epstein. We don't know that for sure. We don't have evidence of that, like in a really tangible way. Or his obsession with Somali fraud, but as he's pardoning all these other fraudsters. It's not like we have a text of him saying, I'm going to make a deal of it. Okay, so we don't know it for sure. But the thing that there's a lot of truth to is that Trump has a strategy that actually all the time he does, you remember Steve Bannon's famous quote, flood the zone with shit. If there's always surround sound noise about everything, controversies, 10 scandals a day, then our minds almost can't even focus on one of them. Like, if there's one scandal, everyone's thinking about the one scandal. If there's 100, some people go, I don't even know. I don't even want to think about one of them. As opposed to all of them. Or some of them. And so what Trump has done really his whole career in politics is that flood the zone. There always has to be so much noise and so many controversies and so many headlines because it numbs people out. And it makes it to where whatever the real scandal is, it's going to be hard to guess. What's the real scandal? Is the real thing we're supposed to focus on that he's taken over Venezuela or whatever, invaded, military action there? Is the real scandal that he still is claiming an election was stolen after he actually tried to steal it? Is the real scandal that he's pardoning fraudsters while pretending like he cares about fraud? Is the real scandal Epstein? Is the real? And at some point you go, I guess kind of all of them, but that's hard to give enough attention to in the same way you would give a ton of attention to one of these things if it were a different president. But that's definitely playing a role here. I don't know if it's accidental, serendipitous for Trump, or an intentional decision, but all of the controversy around ISIS actions, Somali, this, that, and the other thing, Greenland, his latest thing, disparaging allies of the U.S. who died fighting alongside us after 9/11. It causes it to where news outlets go, we got to at least talk about what's timely. And because there's 10 new things that are crazy that have happened, we should probably talk about those before we get back to Epstein. But if he's always feeding you 10 more things, then as an outlet that feels like you got to talk about what's timely, you're going to end up letting Epstein fall by the wayside, the Epstein files, which they've still not released 99% of.
Well, he's dead, so...
Bail! I feel like I only ever hear you say that. That's all you ever say. And how much is that intentional? I don't know. I think it's a part of a broader instinctual strategy from Trump of creating controversy constantly to keep himself in the headlines, which is one, you can kind of control the narrative if you always are the narrative. And he's very happy, so he's going to keep stoking those controversies that people have stopped putting as much pressure on the that's an interesting photo on the Epstein files. Meanwhile, you have a very, very sweaty, like glare off of his forehead, former deputy director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, ranting about how these scum in the media don't understand what it's like to go after a child predator. Really? You're going to use child predator when you were part of the entity that's covering up the child predator stuff?
Do you dipwads even read your own?
Don't say dipwad. No one says dipwad.
Do you dipwads even read your own headlines? Are you that stupid? These are these media morons. People who've never spent a day wearing a badge, never kicked in a door, never arrested some child predator or some bank robber or some gang member. These morons don't know anything about the safety status of the country.
This is his whole thing now. Like, anyone criticizing us, these dummies in the media, they don't know what it's like to actually do this job. And it's sort of, well, that's not, their job is not to do the job. Yours is. Theirs is to report on the job you're doing. And even if you feel like some of the reporting has been inaccurate, some of it's undeniable. And also, if it was going so damn well, why'd you leave? I'm pretty sure you didn't feel like it was going so damn well. Now, on the Epstein files, or a similar topic, here is maybe the best short form video producer Cole has ever made. Let me get this teed up and then just watch it in its entirety.
Like, if we're trying to find a sex offender, tell us where the guy lives.
There it is. There it is. There it is. And here's the sad part and the scary part. It's not that Trump is going to do anything, maybe even causing new controversies to distract from the Epstein files. It's that it's kind of working, and there's definitely less public pressure. And so get it together, media outlets. And even if there's not everyone wants everything to be a new headline, a new update. There has to be continual resurfacing of the story saying they, by law, are required to release all of the documents related to the Epstein investigations. And they've released less than 1% and halted. And that, however many other scandals are going on, is a gargantuous scandal. And that is a story. Every day that they continue to break the law is a new story. And so even if you feel like, well, we haven't really gotten that is a new story. And it needs to be reported on as urgently as it was a month ago.